This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to grow your beautiful online presence and run your business, and I love Squarespace. I started using them 4 years ago when I started my blog, TomWard.com, and I looked at all the other platforms out there and ended up choosing Squarespace because their sites look the best. They've got the powerful blogging tools to make your site look incredible, whether it's something simple like a picture and text, or if you get more into audio, like a podcast or a video like I do, they'll put it together and they'll make your site look incredible. They've also got the data that you need to run your site. You need data to know who your customers are, who your viewers are, and you want to give them the content that you need, and Squarespace gives you all the data to run your site. Finally, I wanted to build up an email marketing list, and I used to have to use a third-party provider to do this, and it never synced up, it never worked properly. Now that it's under one roof with Squarespace, it works every time. So head over to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/TomWard to get 10% off your order. Thanks, guys.
What's up, guys? This is Fletcher from the Hollywood Fix. I'm here with Tom Ward. Going to talk to him today about, the hottest things going on in the social media world.
Welcome to the Tom Ward Show, where I interview the biggest influencers in the world like Emma Chamberlain, David Dobrik, and more. Make sure you check out my old videos and make sure you subscribe. I've got Charli and Dixie D'Amelio coming up, and I've got Cynthia Parker. So I've got some good ones coming up, and I'm going to be dropping a video a week starting in September. You don't want to miss it. But right now, we're seated with the great Fletcher Green from the Hollywood Fix, man. What's up?
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Thanks for having me on today.
Of course, man. You know, it's funny. A bunch of people said, like, interview Fletcher. I knew who you were because every BOA sighting, I follow you guys on Instagram. Like, you're there. We know your voice.
Yeah, I get that a lot. Yeah, I get that a lot. Or people will ask me to, like, say something to their friend or record a message or say this or that. So, yeah, there's been a lot going on with the social media influencers lately, and it's been crazy. A lot of the big mainstream celebrities, with the COVID virus are just not coming out. So you rarely see, Brad Pitt or Jennifer Aniston and, names like that are just like ghosts. I don't even know if they're even in town or if they're just locked up in their mansions or what, but you just don't see them,
Yeah, and you see these motherfuckers like Bryce Hall and stuff having parties when no one's wearing masks. Everybody.
Right. Yeah, I don't even think there's no masks at all. They just, which, I mean, and I'm about to point to where I'm tired of wearing my mask too, but it's like you don't ever know if someone has the virus or if you're going to catch it or, so it's kind of a weird thing because, you want to not wear it, but, I guess we have to until, this whole situation is over, which, who knows when that'll be.
And what do you think about that too? Because I interviewed Bryce and I knew their management and I interviewed the other Hype House guys. I like him. I really dug Bryce. He's super open. But now he's getting sued by LA. Where is that? You're the gossip guy.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like that I think maybe they'll probably just get a fine or something like that. I mean, I don't think, no one really got hurt. There was never no major problem that I don't think that I know of, at least. So I'm pretty sure they're probably just looking at a fine. I mean, in the headlines, you'll see like, 1 year in jail and stuff like that, and they blow it out of proportions. But the media will pretty much do that for anyone that gets charged with anything. They'll take the maximum amount, and then they'll use that as the headline as like clickbait. You know what I mean? So
do you have to use a lot of clickbait or not really? Because you're getting the scoop on shit. You just have to put that in the headline, right?
Yeah, but that's the part though, is you got to get something good. It's that you've got to, that's the whole joke about like the fans want to know that people like always say that, but it's like, that's the point, is that you have to get something that's relevant. You know what I mean? That if it's just someone walking from one door to the other and you don't say anything to them, that's kind of boring. I mean, sometimes it's still good to see people, but you really want people to talk and to tell you something. And, at best, break some exclusive news that no one knew before. That's really what you're trying to get. Is like the best news story possible.
Well, because I try to do the same thing, right? But I've got the luxury of time. So I can talk to them, kind of ease into it for 20 minutes and then hit them with like the shit they don't want to talk about and their guards down, right?
Right.
you don't have that luxury. You got 2 minutes with them in front of a restaurant. Like, how do you hit them so quick and not have them run away?
Well, I always try to be nice. I try to be respectful. And, I get a lot of disrespectful questions that people message me or like, to expose people and stuff like that. But I really don't like that. And I try to just stay focused on positive things. And, my main things are just, who someone's dating, what's going on with their dating life, because the people always want to know that. And then really like what they're working on and what they want to promote and things like that. I try to stay away from, the negative stuff. And that's pretty much what I focus on.
Yeah, because if you get in that stuff, they're never going to talk to you again.
Yeah. And you just, nobody wants to be treated, rude or disrespectful or anything like that. So, I mean, there are some people that have done some pretty messed up stuff, so it's tough because you want to be like, hey, what's up with this that you did, that there's a million screenshots floating around all over the internet of it, but I'm just like, you know what, I'll let other people deal with that. I just try to keep things positive for the most part.
Well, we can talk about we're going to talk about how you started and all that stuff too, but just curious, so we could talk about this too, is how your business is also kind of the TMZ style. I'm going to get traditional celebrities, sell that, do that. But then you've got the influencer stuff. Like, what's the breakdown as far as how you make money? Like, is it all traditional is where it's coming from, or does influencers add to that?
Well, it used to be mainly, it started out as mainly just, like you say, traditional, real celebrities that, movie stars, rock stars, and then it transitioned, where you got television stars. Then from there, it kind of transitioned into, YouTubers. I was the first paparazzi to start shooting Jake Paul, when he was blowing up big. And then, so it's kind of like I took the skills that I used on mainstream celebrities like Jennifer Garner, Ben Affleck, ones like that, and then turned that same style of reporting onto like social media influencers, and it was very successful. And a lot of people wanted to know because, like, say with Jake Paul at the time, all you could get was what he was putting out. So you would see his vlog on his channel, and then other than that, you didn't know anything else. So for, fans to be able to see their favorite influencers, kind of like off the record or off camera of their main thing that they do, they were interested because you get to see. And a lot of people, a comment that I get a lot is they're like, I've never heard this person's voice before. Like, you might have a model that's very popular on Instagram, has millions of followers, but no one's ever heard her talk.
But also, people may not want to hear her talk after she
maybe, maybe, yeah, maybe. But I tried to. But there's things that people would just say, "Wow," or "I've never seen." Like, you might know someone from TV and their TV show, and maybe they're on Disney Channel and they have this same role they play, but then in real life they act completely different than when they're acting. So it's different, and it and then you just try to find something that's good and relevant to get them to talk about, that they feel comfortable talking about. But it's a little different.
Jake is where I got my start too. He's the first influencer. I didn't even know what a YouTuber was 3 years ago. And I interviewed him at the old Team 10 house. And then I interviewed him for Forbes, and then he was cool. Like, we exchanged phone numbers, and he said, hey, tell me when you post it and I'll put it on Twitter. It got like 100,000 views in 5 minutes. For a Forbes article, it was a ton. I was like, these influencers they're where it's at, because traditional celebrities aren't going to give me their cell phone number. They're never going to share anything I do.
And they're not going to give you really good media too. It'll be, so how about this? Oh, we worked on the movie and it was a fun time. It was great. And it's just like, okay, they're not going to tell you, oh, hey, I'm cheating on my husband, and, I'm running around at the clubs in the middle of the night, or, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, they're not going to take out flashy cars. You just don't see stuff like that anymore,
So were the influencers like a breath of fresh air to you?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's good because, and even with anything, no matter what it is, like the stuff that you do in 1 year of school is not the same stuff you do in the next year. And things just kind of get old and stale with the same people. So it's always good when you see like a new kind of class of people coming in. And, I always still shoot, the older school people and stuff like that if I see them. But I just mean like, you know, that like when the newer people come in, it's something new. You know, like I shot David Spade the other night, and he was super nice and super funny and gave me a great interview. But you know, there's not people out there just dying to know what David Spade has got going on and what he's thinking. So, but with the younger people, it's more catered to their crowd of there's not very much information on the internet about these people. They don't know much about them. They don't really know. They see pictures on Instagram and maybe a YouTube video here or there, but they don't really know these people. So, you know, that's where I come in as try to find them. You have to find the people, which is the hard part. And then once you know where they are, you have to get some good media out of it, which is the most difficult part, you know?
Of course. Who are the ones? It's funny because you're right. Like, I want to hear about David Spade. I'm a big Howard Stern fan, and he's fucking incredible on there. He's so funny. But your demo doesn't give a shit about David Spade. That's who their dad watches.
Yeah. But I mean, he was great though. I asked him about, you know, hanging out with Chevy Chase. A lot of people said that Chevy Chase was like a dick and that he was really rude. There's tons of articles about how rude and like a terrible person Chevy Chase is. So I was like, well, I know you know him. So how was it working with him on Saturday Night Live? And he was like, I never had any problems with him. So it was interesting, you know what I mean? Because like I've seen Pat videos of Chevy Chase, and he's like cracking jokes and it's funny. And I'm like, I don't know, because sometimes people get jealous of other people, and if someone's getting more attention from them, they might, you know, say, well, I hate this person, or make up some negative stuff. But that was cool. It was a good thing. But I mean, that was just one instance, you know, of something that I got recently that was the older celebrities, you know what I mean? But for right now, the new group, you know, the new batch is kind of like what's taking over right now. That's what everybody wants to know about.
Who's getting the most views now? Who's the new batch that's killing it?
The biggest TikTokers are getting the most views, like the D'Amelio sisters, the Sway House, the Hype House, you know, Addison Rae, which I think she was in the Hype House, but I think she kind of left and's been doing her own thing. So just the bigger TikTokers, and then always rappers. I do very well with rappers, but they are the most difficult to get to talk. So I don't know. I'm not really sure. I don't know why, but it's very hard to get rappers to talk. I think that they might have a thing where they don't trust the media, or they think something's going to be a big like gotcha moment or something like that. But if I can get rappers to talk, you know, like I've done interviews with like Lil Uzi Vert, Gucci Mane, you know, Future, and you know, Future used to talk more back in the day, but he won't now. He won't say a word now. But if you can get the bigger rappers to talk, then that's really good, you know, because people always want to know what's going on with them.
How's Lil Uzi Vert? Because that's like my favorite album of the year, and he seems like a cool dude.
He's
like,
very nice.
Like?
He's very nice. He was actually he was cooler than his security was. He was talking, and after I talked to him for so long, his security just cut it off and said no more. He's not talking anymore. And I'm like, well, he's literally right here talking, you know, but the security was just like, that's enough, and then just cut it. And I'm like, okay, well, you know, I'll appreciate what I got. But yeah, he was a great guy though. Really, really good guy.
You know, which you've kind of got it made in a certain way, because you don't have to fuck with publicists who will, or their whole goal is to have their client not say anything interesting.
Right. Yeah. The red, you know, the red tape of trying to email people and get in contact, you know, it's an endless cycle. And, you know, your email goes in an email in a list of 1 million, and they all look spammy, and it's just a lot, you know, unless there's some big major headline thing of like, we're, you know, with like Inside Edition or something like that, or Entertainment Tonight, then they're just going to skim over it, you know? So yeah, I bypass all that and just go directly to, you know, the talent of who's ever out, you know, for whatever day it is.
It's funny too. So to see now that the influencers, you know, you see them when they start out, and now they do have those teams around them. Like, I know you interviewed Emma Chamberlain. I did her a couple of years ago, right when she was kind of popping off.
Right.
I did it at her apartment. It was just her. There was no publicist. There was no nothing. Like, we just did it in her house. She was cool as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But now I couldn't contact Emma. I'd have to go through agents and publicists and all that. And it's wild how they become like a traditional celebrity.
Right. Right. Over time. Yeah. Well, they start building up their, their brand and their business. And when they get, all these offers of, promote this, wear this, we're going to send you this, post it, you know what I mean? And all that, it becomes kind of like overwhelming where it's too much for them to do it, plus create their content, plus promote their content and stuff like that. So that's when they start to bring in these other people. And then that's why it kind of like builds a wall around them, because instead of just going, hey, I'm going to go hang out at Emma Chamberlain's house, it's, I got to contact the manager, the publicist, and then make an appointment, and then that appointment gets canceled, and then you're going, well, let's reschedule, and then you never hear anything back, so that's just part of the game. It can be tough.
Have you seen like that where, 2 years ago when you talked to an influencer outside a club, they were cool as fuck, they would say anything, no filter, and then like 2 years later they're like real guarded and won't say anything?
Yeah, absolutely. I see that a lot. I see that, and then I'll see, because it can go either. It goes kind of mainly. Well, number one, they might just be the same and be super cool as they were. Number two, they might not say anything because they've gotten bigger and bigger, and now they feel like they're too good to talk to me, or they're not going to say anything. And then there's ones that they've fallen off, where they used to be, at the top, and I can get them now and get a great interview and post it, and it's just crickets. No one cares. So the thing about the influencers is they have an unstable like shelf life. You know what I mean? Because overnight you can blow up and have millions of followers, and then just that quickly, in a matter of 6 months to a year, they're sitting there looking at their notifications, and it's like zero notifications, zero, that attention, it can quickly come, but then it can quickly leave, so.
Which makes your job harder, because the guy you interviewed 6 months ago who got you a ton of views might not get it now. Like, how do you stay?
It can even be days apart. It can be, I can get someone on a Monday and then get them again later on that Friday, and it just doesn't have the same magic that it had the first time. Yeah, you've always got to seek out the hottest story, the hottest person. Well, and also too, in a daytime, there might be, say 5 to 10 different people out. And then a lot of the time they might all be out at the same time. There's only so many hours in the day. There's only, one lunch and one dinner, and you know what I'm saying? So a lot of time I'll have to make a decision of, I'll go, well, this person's here, this person's there. And I might know where several different people are, but I've got to go, okay, out of all these people, which is the best one to get, who I've got the best story for, the best question, is this a person that runs and hides and covers their face? If so, you know what I'm saying, then I'm not going to go for that. You know what I'm saying? So you got to make decisions like very quick, split second, of where you're going to go, and can you make it on time, and all that type of stuff. It's very fast paced.
I was thinking of you too when I was doing prep for this. Have you ever been outside a club or restaurant and you're doing a quick interview with somebody, but somebody bigger comes right behind them? Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You drop the person you were talking to and run?
Oh, yeah. It happens. I was interviewing this one singer, and then Beyonce's mom like walked out behind her, and I had to just kind of like drop that and, okay, let's go over here. Or that happens a lot though. What I try to do though is I try to at least close out that interview super quickly, and then even if the tape is still rolling, I'll splice it there and then start off a fresh something new. But yeah, that's actually happened quite a few times. Or someone will walk by, or just something crazy will happen, and I wasn't expecting it. Or like one time I was shooting Lisa Rinna from The Real Housewives, and I'm shooting her, and then in the background I see Vanessa Hudgens walking past her, and so I'm shooting Lisa Rinna, and then there goes Vanessa Hudgens, and I just keep spraying nonstop, and then I just drop Lisa and then just go with Vanessa Hudgens. You know what I mean? So that happens sometimes. Yeah.
You feel like a dick? Like,
not really, because they still got shot. They still got their stuff. I mean, if there was anything major, then let me know now. But if not, then I got to go. You know what I'm saying? We've all got bills to pay. We just got to go with, what's the best option. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense. Like, how do you find these people all the time? That was the number one question for you. I'm assuming that people have to DM you or something going like a valet at a restaurant says like Kardashian just walked in.
Yeah. No, I get a lot of tips from fans. Yeah, that they'll see them, like, some fans will be out on Rodeo Drive and, oh, I just saw, you know, the Sway House guys, they're all out shopping, or hey, Kim Kardashian is out here on Rodeo Drive or something like that. So I'll get DMs and stuff like that from fans that spot people and see people and stuff like that. So yeah, the city, I mainly work West Hollywood and Beverly Hills. I don't work all the other cities outside because it's just too much to keep track of. But after I've been doing this for about 7 years now, so where the hotspots are, and things become trendy. You know what I mean? Like, it used to be the nice guy, and I mean literally every single night was like major A-list celebrities like Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes and 5 Seconds of Summer and all the Kardashians and the Hadid sisters would be there just every night, back to back to back. So you would just know this is the trendy spot now.
Yeah, and now it seems, what the fuck's up with BOA, brother? Break it down for me. Every day I see you at BOA. Every influencer is at BOA. What the fuck is up with BOA?
I don't know, man. I think, well, the main thing is that a lot of the restaurants are shut down. There's a city ordinance with the coronavirus that you're not allowed to have a restaurant that's closed in. And the thing about BOA is that you can't tell from looking at it on the outside, but the inside is open. There's not a roof to it. Well, there's like a partial roof, but the main part of it's all open. So they're one of the very few luxury restaurants, high-end restaurants that's allowed to stay open. And I mean, these influencers make a lot of money. I mean, a lot of them make millions of dollars a year. Don't let just a cute Instagram picture fool you. And, they're just standing around in some jeans and a t-shirt. A lot of them are millionaires and they want to go spend their money. They want to go somewhere nice, which shout out to Paul. He's the manager at BOA, and he's like really super tight with all the influencers. He knows them all, has all their phone numbers and stuff like that. So whereas at another restaurant, like say Catch, you might, want to go to Catch. You call, hey, me and my friends are 5 minutes away. We want to get in. Well, Catch doesn't, like, not say anything bad about them, but they're not going to, move things around to get you in the door. They're probably just going to tell you that you have to come back next week sometime. But Paul, he moves things around, gets them in, and has a good relationship with them to where, I'm saying that they're able to get in at a moment's notice and get a good table and good seating and have a really good time. And I actually took my girlfriend out to eat there for her birthday, and it was delicious. We had an amazing time. So it's expensive though.
It's funny. I hope I see you. I'm taking my wife out there Saturday.
Okay.
So hopefully I'll say hi. I'm sure you'll be outside somewhere.
Maybe. Yeah. It depends. I don't ever really know where I'll be what night, because sometimes it can be, here or there, or sometimes I'll be like, I'm taking the night off, and then I'm looking at my phone and the notifications are going crazy. You've got to get out here right now. And I'm going, oh God, it's 1 a.m. I'm supposed to be off, but then I have to end up, suiting up and get all my gear and then run out in the middle of the night and, chase somebody down. So it, it just all depends on what's going on. You never really know what's going to happen.
Well, just on the tips thing real quick, do you have to pay? I mean, do you ever pay people to tip?
No, I don't. No, I don't do the thing that now people used to do that, but really there's not anything like, it's some of the nicer restaurants, if they were getting, real A-list clientele in there, something like that, that's something that I could sell to like a lot of mainstream media outlets, that would be different. But the thing is that it's not really worth it. And another thing too is that just because you get something, a lot of time, if I shoot something, there's usually other people there too. So even though you shoot something, that doesn't mean that you're going to make the sales, because after you shoot something, now you have to give it to your agency and they have to get on the phone and start calling, TMZ, Entertainment Tonight, E! News, People Magazine, they have to start calling all the tabloids and then pitching it to sell to them. So, there used to be more money in it back in the day when things were harder. I mean, there used to not even be digital cameras. It used to be people were out there with legit film and then had to go get the film developed. And then after it was developed, then had to try to sell the photos. So, a lot's changed But no, I don't pay for tips and stuff like that. I mainly just have like a lot of friends that are just like, oh, hey, I'm here and I ran into so-and-so or this and that, or I'm at YSL and I just saw Post Malone is in here shopping, and I'll be like, oh, okay, well, cool. I'm right down the street. I'll swing by. And, you know, if you get it, you get it. If not, then I just feel like it wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? So
Where do you spend most of your time? Is your focus still on getting a Post Malone to sell a picture to TMZ or whoever?
it really just mainly just my cities are like West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and it really is just whoever is out. You know, I don't really go for one person, or you know what I mean? It's who's out, you know, where are they, you know, what, you know, it just really depends on who's out and what's going on. Cause you know, I can't make someone come out. I can't, you know, say, you know, Brad Pitt, you have to come here, and then he shows up. You know what I mean? It just, you just go with what you get every day, and you never know what's going to happen. So that's, you know, you don't know.
I guess what I want to know is, where does the money come from, right? So does it come mostly from like the YouTube shit you're doing over there, or does it come from, I got a picture of Tom Cruise coming out of Catch, or
It's both. They go hand in hand, and where one does better one month, the next month it might, they change hands. I mean, it's some, you know, with the social media stuff, and then it's some with, you know, the bigger celebrities. For a while it was nothing but bigger celebrities, but then when the virus came, then they started to disappear, and that's, you know, when you start shooting more of the influencers and more of the upcoming crowd. These movie studios I know are dying to get back open. I'm sure there's tons of movies that they've made like over a year ago that have just been sitting on a shelf waiting to be released. So I know they want to get back out there. They want to get the studios open, the shows back working. And as soon as that happens, that's when you're going to see a flood. I mean, there'll probably be, you know, 3 or 4 movie premieres per week. I mean, it's been 5 going on 6 months, I think,
yeah,
since, I think it's been like, because it
March,
started on March. Yeah. So it's been 6 months since there's been any movie premieres, and I'm used to at least 1 or 2, you know, a week. So I mean, and I know they're going to want to try to get this stuff out for the holidays. So I mean, I'm anticipating a huge flood of the mainstream celebrities coming back and just being out like crazy. You know, I'm anticipating it soon. You know, I hope so, if the virus goes away, you know.
yeah. Or are you like a private person? Because like when I was doing homework for this interview, the only interview I could see was the one you did with Logan. Even
Oh
pictures
yeah.
of you, there weren't many, but like
Yeah.
now you are kind of becoming an influencer by interviewing influencers, which is kind of trippy.
Yeah, you know, that's not my intention. That's not my focus. I mean, it's like I'm just doing my job. You know, my job is to get media, you know what I'm saying, and sell it and put it out there. I don't have an Instagram, a personal Instagram. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not that type of person. I'm just more of like, I'm just go to do my job, get the job done, and then that's really it. I'm not like a flashy, like, you know what
No.
I'm saying? I'm not all on Instagram with like Supreme bags and, you know, Louis Vuitton, you know, logo shirts and Gucci and stuff like that. That's not me. I'm more of just kind of like a low key type person. I try to let my work speak for itself, you know.
But what's funny is, but people do want to know about you. They want to know about Fletcher. They got the Hollywood Fix stuff. They get all their tea and stuff. But but the bigger your channel grows and your Instagram grows and all that, like I was asking on YouTube, like, who do you want me to interview next? And like, you were right up there with like Avani and Charli. Like
Oh
people want to
wow.
know about you,
That's
which is
crazy. Well, that's shocking to me because like I said, I've been doing this for like 7 years now. So you know, on a normal everyday basis, it's just they want to know about who it is that
yeah.
I'm filming. You know what I'm saying? So that's unusual to me. But I mean, you know, all of my work, you know, is on my channel, and that's, you know, what I'm doing. If I'm not doing that, I'm usually at home, you know, with my girlfriend, you know, chilling, trying to relax. Cause when I'm out doing this stuff, it drains a lot of my energy. So sometimes I have to just cut it off. I have to turn my phone off. I have to just say, cause people go, oh, you know, so-and-so's here, so-and-so's here. And I'm like, dude, I don't care. I need a break. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm just, you know, pretty low key. I mean, I hang out around the house a lot, and, maybe go out to eat here and there and stuff like that, but nothing major. I'm not going to be throwing a party in the hills that they're going to have the power shut off for. You know what I'm saying? I'm a pretty low key guy. So
That's a trip. Do you get recognized a lot when you go out now, or?
I mean, if I'm standing there with my big camera, then yeah, I mean, people will recognize me. But if I'm out somewhere though working, I'm really just trying to get my shot and get my job done. So if there's, that's why it's not about me. It's just about my work, and I'm just trying to build my channel. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it's about. But I do see a lot of people I recognize though, and that are just that are out in the scene, and they'll stop and say hi or this or that. But just friendly stuff. That's about it.
Well, how do you shut down? Because that's a big thing with influencer stuff all the time. Like their job is to be on social media, right? So they're on all the time. They're on their phones fucking 10 hours, 12 hours a day.
Right.
Like you're in that world kind of too, because people are DMing you. You got to see where you're at and stuff. So like when you go home to chill with your girl, how do you turn off your phone or not look at your views on your YouTube channel or not respond to comments? Like, how do you
I just have to just kind of stop. You know what I mean? You just have to stop. But it's, it's that you gotta take some time off so that I can kind of build back up, my energy and, and also I got to do research too. So sometimes in my downtime, I'll be just low key looking on blogs, seeing what people are saying, reading comments, and then that, recharges me with new, things that I notice. Oh, here goes a screenshot where, you're cheating on your girlfriend. So next time I see you, it might be like, hey, so what's going on with you and this person? Are you guys friends or what's going on with that? You know what I mean? You got to be able to do some research too. But, I like to go see concerts. I like to go on vacation and stuff like that too. But with this virus though, man, all that is pretty much, shut down. I mean, there's not a lot going on, so as of lately, the focus has just been on work,
So it's just you, right? Do you have employees or no?
No. I used to work with a big group of people, and for a lot of different various reasons, I don't work with them anymore. Just bad business, bad quality of work, and just things like you might have shot one person that was there, but the person that I really needed was standing next to them, and you didn't even say a word to them because you didn't recognize them. So now, you know what I mean? Just all sorts of different things. Are you asking this question that was relevant 3 weeks ago, but now it's not relevant? So as of right now, it is just me, and that way I can control the quality of everything, and I get just the best that I can get. So yes, for right now, it is just me. And I get a lot of other guys that try to send me stuff or try to sell me stuff, or I got this and that. But, like this other guy, he got like Charli the other day. And I'm like, yeah, but you didn't really say anything to her. You just filmed her just standing there, which that's not, we know that she's alive and standing around. That's not, you're not really breaking any news. Here she is standing here looking around. You know what I'm saying? So that, that for now it's just me to keep the quality control and stuff like that.
Well, then how the fuck are you going to go on vacation? You can never go on vacation.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll have to take a days off. Usually I end up taking some time off here or there. I would like to go see a good concert or go do something, but I'm planning on it very soon.
You were talking about research before too. So you were talking about like, hey, a guy worked for you and he was shooting this guy, but the bigger celebrity was next to him, but he didn't even realize that. So How do you stay in touch? Like, because you could run into any influencer. There's a fucking 1,000 TikTokers. They all look the same, right? How do you, they're all good looking white kids. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Which is a whole nother issue, but how do you stay up on everybody? So, if you run into influencer X, she just broke up with her boyfriend. Like, how do you? That's
the tough part. Because there's a lot. And then they do all they're all rich. They're all good looking. They're all, you know what I mean? Have their hair done a certain way and stuff like that. It's very tricky. And I do make a lot of mistakes. Like I'll be talking to someone and I'll be saying the wrong name and they're looking at me like, what are you talking about? And then I'm like, why are they looking at me like that? And I'm like, oh God, I said the name wrong. So then I have to go back and backpedal I do make a lot of mistakes because it's just like a maze of people. So yeah.
Ever choke, like you see somebody that you're not ready for and just don't have any questions or don't know what they're
Oh,
doing in life?
yeah, all the time. Or they get up when I'm in the middle of uh researching it, because a lot of time I won't know who's there. So say I'll, be looking around and I just run into, someone obscure that I'm not, used to seeing, and I have to do some quick research, and then all of a sudden they can just jump up and leave. And then yeah, I'm sitting there just, but I have some basic go-to questions that for just about anyone, like average questions that, so
Like what?
I'll never just completely choke, but sometimes I might have not something that's really, really good.
Do you, like, when you say research, if you see somebody like in a restaurant or something you're waiting for, do you just go on your phone and Google them and try to come up with shit on the spot, or what?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, like if it's someone say that I don't see a lot, like like if it's like say like Cara Delevingne or someone like that, just someone that's a little unusual that I don't see a lot. Well, I need to know what their latest news is. You want to know what their latest news is, their latest movie, their latest project, so you have something to talk to them about. But you can also say things about like what they're wearing, if they're wearing something crazy, or if there's just another really big news story, like we recently had like the riots in LA and stuff like that, and the looting. You can go to many different things, news stories, popular things, or you can talk about things that are people that they're friends with that they might just speak on and react, like if one of their friends is pregnant or just bought a new house or just got a new TV show or something like that.
It's cool because like TMZ is going on a weird direction where they'll ask some random celeb, like, what do you think's going on in Syria right now? And like
Yeah,
people don't give a shit
yeah,
what Tom Cruise thinks about Syria. You know,
right. It's not relevant. Yeah,
you give
they
people
do.
what they want. I don't know what they're doing. Like you ask who are they dating, stuff that people want to know.
Yeah, I think it might be their parent company, because TMZ is owned by a bigger company. So it might be what, because they've got, I think, a boss that they have to answer to. So it might be just, I think it's just what fits their demographic, and also, who watches their show, what type of comments they get. It might just be that audience of what they do, but they also do stuff like, they'll put two pictures side by side, and can you guess the difference of, their hat's a little different color, and this, just stuff that I wouldn't do, but that they do their own thing though. But yeah.
But could you ever work for somebody else? I mean, it's kind of
No.
cool what you do.
No, 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 no. I couldn't, and mainly one of the biggest problems was that, I know a lot of guys that work for TMZ, and I'm friends with a lot of them. But the thing is that if there's something going on, that they can, put you on a story, and you have to work that story. So say if it's, um, just something that is not interesting at all, like it can be a court date, and someone is supposed to arrive to court today, but we don't know if they're going to show up because they might, do some judgment online or just send their lawyer. You still have to go down there, and you have to wait hours of, are they going to show up? Or are they not? I mean, they could have walked in a different door in the courthouse. You don't even know, but they put you on assignment. Or like say, I remember one instance was when like Conor McGregor was at a club. He had just, after the Floyd Mayweather fight, they had to get Conor leaving the club. And I think he didn't leave till like 4 a.m. or something. So, they have to get there and just sit. You cannot move for hours and hours and hours until you get it. And then he might leave, and then he doesn't even say a word. He just jumps in the car, but you had to do it because it was your job, so.
That's wild. Like, so what's an average day like for you? Today's Wednesday. What'd you do? What do you have going on today?
Well, usually I'm out in the, now on a normal work day, wake up, get out early. A lot of celebrities hit the gyms early in the morning. They go get coffee, they go get like juice and stuff like that. And a lot of celebrities go to work out, and then they go get, like juice afterwards or coffee afterwards. So you usually see them at multiple spots, and then they'll go home, and then they'll change, and then you might see them later again in the afternoon. They might, step out to lunch or go to work or something like that. So, I usually work during the daytime, but lately with a lot of the TikToker stuff and the social media stuff has shifted more to night. So I've been doing more night stuff lately, but I prefer, the daytime, but it just kind of depends on what people do. When they come out, it's kind of when I have to come out.
I haven't done this before. Have you ever forgot to record?
Yes. Yeah. That's the worst. And then there's also too, where you can do like a double tap on the record, where it's like, I'll think that they're about to come out. And so I'll hit record, and then I'll be waiting, but then I'll forget that it's recording, and then I'll see them, and then I'll hit record again, but it actually turned it off. So yeah, that the worst time that ever happened was Taylor Swift and Selena Gomez together at lunch, and I hit record, but they walked the opposite way from me. So then I had to take off running. And when I was running, my thumb hit the record button by accident. So the whole time I thought I was killing it. And then I looked at my thing and I'm like, okay, well, that's done. And I went to turn it off, and then it started recording when they had already walked inside. So that. I hate when that happens.
What would that video have been worth?
Well, there was a lot of guys there, so not very much. I mean, maybe the thing is, there was maybe, 20 or 30 guys on it. So, one person, maybe two people would have sold it, to a couple of, maybe it would have been on TV, maybe one or two places, and it, would have probably been on like Daily Mail, or something like that. So maybe like a couple $100, but nothing too crazy.
You said you can I read somewhere where you said you can make a couple $100 per video or $100,000 per video. What's the most you've ever made from a video?
I would say the most would probably be I would say maybe like, for selling it, I would say maybe like $12,000.
Wow.
For it was like Brooklyn Beckham was he was cheating on his girlfriend Chloe Moretz with this Playboy model, and they were like kissing and all over each other inside this tattoo shop. So that was something. I was literally done for the day, and I was coming home, and he went into a tattoo shop, and I'm like about to pull into my neighborhood, and I look over and I'm like, is that Brooklyn Beckham like just walking like through my neighborhood? And then they went into this tattoo shop, and I thought they were just friends, but then after like an hour and a half of being in the tattoo shop, all of a sudden they just started like kissing and making out and just getting all over each other. And I was shocked because, at the time he was officially dating Chloe Moretz. So that was a big story. If you're breaking news, you've got something really good, then that's when everybody wants to buy it. But if it was just Brooklyn Beckham walking down the street and, walking in the door somewhere, then that's just maybe like $100 or something like that.
Okay. Well, look, so I've got some fan questions I want to hit. We were running out of time,
All right.
But first of all, I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you subscribe. I've got Avani coming up. I've got Cynthia Parker. I've got Dixie and Charli D'Amelio. You don't get bigger than that. So make sure you subscribe. Wow. And we're going to do a little extra content for the podcast now. So this will just be on the podcast. It won't be on YouTube. So head over there, Tom Ward Show on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So I appreciate it. We love what you're doing. Thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for having me. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Of course, brother. I'll see you.
All right, cool. Take care.